Just report the facts.
Want to take a picture?
We won. They lost.
Carton and Roberts on SNY and WFAN is presented by Grubhub.
Four o'clock, what's good? It's Carton and Roberts on the fan. 877-337-6666. We're now also joined on the telly at SNY, courtesy of our friends at Grubhub. What's good on the television, SNY? Good to see you there. I do have a couple stains on my shirt today because I was eating some Vietnamese soup for lunch.
Oh, yeah, you do.
And it splatters a little bit. It's a bit of a splatter pattern.
Have you ever thought of the bib?
I like the concept of the year-round bib, but no, I did not.
It can be very effective, especially for someone who's a klutz while eating.
To me, wearing a bib is giving up. Unless you're eating lobster.
No. Giving up is allowing the stains to get on your shirt and saying, I guess there are stains on my shirt. I'll live.
No.
That's giving up, Craig.
I can see that. I can
Sorry, bro.
So before I get back to your calls here, you may have seen the story today that now that the do-right woke community has gotten rid of Chief Wahoo and the Cleveland Indians. They're now the Cleveland Guardians coming up, I guess, next year. And the Washington Redskins no longer exist. They're the Washington football team. And years ago, the St. John's Redmen became the Storm. The Syracuse Orange Men became the Orange, and on and on and on.
Yes.
That inevitably there was going to be a push. You knew this was going to happen at some point as to whether or not Notre Dame should do one of two things, right? A, no longer refer to themselves as the Fighting Irish because it's a stereotypical trait of an Irish person. And B, what to do with the leprechaun. Well, they're going after the leprechaun first.
Who's going after the leprechaun?
They are.
Who's they?
Them.
Who is it? No,
those
seriously.
people.
I try to be understanding. I'm an understanding guy.
Yeah, okay.
Who is offended by the leprechaun and the Fighting Irish? I watched Rudy over the weekend, Craig.
Yeah, okay.
I just want to let you know that. The Fighting Irish, it's a part of history, it's tradition, and nobody's offended by it.
Well, listen, I didn't think anyone was offended with the name Cleveland Indians.
No, the Redskin one we did know people were.
Redskins
That's
was
different.
one thing. The name Indians is not patently offensive, just the name Indians.
I agree, and I was
people,
surprised in a way that changed.
So Notre Dame gave what's being called a fiery defense of the leprechaun.
Good. So they're defending it.
Yes, they're not going down without a fight.
I'm on Team Notre Dame.
So apparently they did this survey, all right? Okay. A survey was just done, kind of like a nationwide type survey. And the survey was the most offensive mascots. Like, what do you find the most offensive mascots to be?
Oh, you're asking me?
No, that was the survey, okay?
Because I'll give you an answer.
So this is what they came up with, all right? The leprechaun was the fourth most offensive mascot. Hawaii's Billy the Warrior, which I have very little to zero knowledge of, because I thought Hawaii were the Rainbows.
Yeah, they changed it to Rainbow Warriors.
Because of Rainbow Warriors. Okay, so they might have a mascot, I guess. Okay.
Weren't they Hawaii Rainbows and then went to Rainbow Warriors?
I
thought
don't know
that was their history.
Right,
I'm going to look that
neither
up.
here nor there.
I'm curious.
Because they'll be next on the list. I guess they're going from the bottom up. Eventually they'll get to number one. So number 4 is the leprechaun.
Right.
All right. Number 3 is Hawaii's Vili, or Vili, I guess it's Vili, the warrior, okay? Number 2 is the San Diego State Aztec Warrior, which is, again, that's a depiction of a Native American fighter, obviously, right?
Right.
And the last one is Florida State's Osceola and Renegade. That's the horse and the person that dresses up full, like, war paint on his face and throws the fiery thing, like the arrow into the ground to start a Florida State football game.
Right.
Which is a clear depiction of a warring Native American tribe person, right?
Sure.
All right, so we'll get to those later on because who cares for the moment. So Fighting Irish is the name, and the leprechaun. So let's start with the leprechaun part, all right?
Yes. I'm going to pull up a picture so I can analyze.
First off, and I'm going to tell you a little secret. All right, and tell Jet to cover his ears right now.
Jet, please don't listen to Uncle Craig right now. Thank you.
I don't think, like, I don't get everything right in the show.
Yeah.
I don't think leprechauns are real.
Thank you for giving that warning.
I don't want to ruin that for any children out there.
Sure.
Lucky Charms, I don't eat cereal, but we all know about Lucky Charms, right?
Yes.
Right.
But leprechauns are not a depiction of anything real that I'm aware of.
Right.
Right? So the question is this. Who is offended by the leprechaun?
Nobody.
And by the way, there have been white leprechauns, black leprechauns, Asian American leprechauns. I've seen all denominations of race, creed, everything represented at Notre Dame as the leprechaun. So I'd like to know, where is the group of pissed off leprechauns writing letters to Washington going, if you change Indians and you change Redskins, gosh darn it, we want to be changed too. To what? Like, if leprechauns is offensive, like, I understand that little people don't like the quote-unquote M word. Mm-hmm. I will say it only once so you know what I'm talking about. Midget. That, for little people, is apparently an offensive term. I don't know why, but okay, they're offended by it, so why would I purposely offend them?
Right.
So I call them little people. Dwarves, apparently, not offended by the name dwarf. They're good with the dwarf status. The M's, they don't like the M status. They want to be little people. So again, if I know it bothers you, I'm not going to do it.
Very nice of you.
Okay. But I don't know anybody. And I've lived a pretty full life. I've been around a little bit. That woke up today saying, gosh darn it, I'm sick and tired of being represented in the green jacket at Notre Dame football games. I have no special powers.
There's no pot at the end of the rainbow?
Right.
Nothing?
Like, who's bothered by that? Now, if you want to tell me Fighting Irish is a poor stereotype, okay, maybe.
No, but no,
but I don't
maybe,
think Irish
because
people are bothered by that either.
If anything, I would go the complete other way. I bet you most Irish people love it and become Notre Dame fans sometimes because of the link to the heritage. Like, I know people who literally only like Notre Dame because they're Irish.
Yes, I agree.
Literally said, I'm not from South Bend. I'm not Rudy. I didn't want to go there, but damn it, I love it because I'm Irish.
And by the way, I think that's the majority of people who didn't go there.
Yes.
Like it because of the connection to Irish Catholicism.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So who's complaining about it?
Nobody's complaining.
So I give Notre Dame credit. Notre Dame's not going to pull one of these, well, we respect other people's wishes, and, we recognize that in these times that we're living in that the name could be deemed offensive, blah, blah, blah. Notre Dame's going, time out. And here's what Notre Dame did. Very clever. In defending the leprechaun and the name Fighting Irish, they chose to juxtapose, which means compare, for those of you that are not thinking straight yet today, their name versus the Native American names.
Oh, that's a smart one.
And what they came out and said was, the Native American names are patently offensive.
Right.
And ours doesn't come close. So why don't you worry about them?
Yeah, go worry about Florida State and get the hell away from us,
like
please.
Notre Dame pretty much said, listen, we've got a little guy in a green suit that everyone seems to like a lot, right?
Yes.
Florida State has a guy dressed up in full Native American war regalia with war paint on his face on a horse with a flaming arrow that he throws into the ground while doing the offensive kind of like Native American chant. We're good with the leprechaun, sir. Thank you. Have a nice day. But they're going after everybody, man.
I have faith in Notre Dame. They will stay, as they already have, very firm on saving the leprechaun. Doesn't he have a name? Lucky Leprechaun?
Yeah, I don't even know.
I think he has a name.
Is the Notre Dame Leprechaun...
Unless I just made that up, I think he's Lucky Leprechaun.
It's funny. I don't know the answer. Can you guys look that up for us? You might be right. I don't know.
I actually did watch Rudy 3 times this weekend.
Rudy's great. As much as it's what bothers me about Rudy, I love it.
What bothers you about Rudy?
I hate Notre Dame.
Yeah, but...
Because they act special. Like, we're not going to be in a conference. We have our own NBC deal, whatever.
But I
love Rudy.
No, listen. What? They act special.
Yeah,
you
like-
ever
they're
look
like Duke
around,
basketball.
You ever look around at your fellow Syracuse alum? You guys act like
No, we
you're so
don't.
damn special.
No, we don't.
Oh, you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
All the time.
We just happen to be
Carrier Dome is the best place ever. Oh.
We don't have a special deal with anybody.
No, you
But
don't
I
have a
hear you.
special. We're not in any conference thing, but
Is it Lucky the Leprechaun? Can you guys? Has anyone working today on that?
We're just seeing Leprechaun, right, Chris?
So-
We're not
No,
seeing
No,
the
I'm
actual
seeing a name
in
called
front of him.
Clashmore Mike.
so I made it up.
Maybe.
There you go.
The Clashmore Mike mascot.
Clashmore Mike
Mike.
is the name of the Leprechaun.
Oh, hold on.
Boy, I know it's a difficult task we've given you guys. Find out the name of
Oh,
the
you know what I
leprechaun.
messed up?
Go ahead.
I think Lucky the Leprechaun is from Lucky Charms.
Lucky
the
Charms.
cereal.
Oh,
That
okay,
makes
well,
more
that's-
sense to me.
Ah. Oh, wait a second. You know what else it is?
Good.
I think Lucky is also the name of the Celtics mascot. That's what I'm thinking of.
Again,
Got
not
it.
helping. Yeah.
Guys,
I am helping. I'm actually doing work. You guys are still figuring
So
it out.
here's the deal.
So I messed up
Wait,
the
wait, wait,
Celtics.
wait.
Wait, so, yeah,
What
we're
work are you
standing.
doing? Figuring out names of other
No,
leprechauns? I can do that all day long.
No, you're not listening.
I'm sure I can give you breakfast cereals
No,
and
you're not.
other tidbits of useless
Chocula.
information that we're not talking about.
No,
that
not
I can
listening.
do
No,
real quick.
You're not listening.
No.
I said Lucky the Leprechaun.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought it was Notre Dame. I am wrong. I'll
So
take the
I wasn't asked to
So-
figure out how you got it wrong.
So what I figured out was
Okay.
by my own research.
I just want to make
All
sure
right,
we're clear
time
on
out.
what.
Here's the name.
Celtics and Lucky Charms.
Here's the name.
Here's your
Okay.
answer.
Here's the name.
The original name of the leprechaun, who, by the way, was the original cartoon caricature. He's putting up his dukes.
Right.
He's a fighting leprechaun. He's not a happy leprechaun. He's not a lucky leprechaun. He's a pissed off, balding leprechaun who's got a little Abe Lincoln coming down the side of his
Yeah.
face, okay? The original name was Bricktop Schwanroo.
Wow.
Okay,
Some
which
name.
sounds like it might have some Far Eastern qualities. Was donated by Charles Otis of Cleveland and presented to football head coach Newt Rockne the weekend of the Notre Dame Penn game back in 1930. A number of Terriers later took the role of the school mascot, which usually took the name, as you guys, one of you said, Clashmore Mike. I don't know what that means. I assume that's got some Irish
Yeah.
connotation to it, but I don't know.
I think even the Bricktop name was for terrier dogs. I think
Got
there
it.
were dogs before leprechauns. It's
So,
been
all right, so
leprechauns for
here's
a while,
this.
but the leprechaun doesn't have a name.
when they originally came out with it, the leprechaun's got his fists up, ready to battle anyone that comes his way. Originally, Evan, the leprechaun was depicted with a bottle of whiskey by his foot, but because of alcohol awareness, they got rid of the bottle.
So that was how long ago did they get rid of that?
It doesn't say here.
Okay, I'm
Doesn't
curious.
say.
Like, was that a more recent thing?
No,
or was
but
that
how about this? It was named the official mascot in 1965.
Huh.
And whoever plays the role of the leprechaun, he or she,
Right.
is the MC of the Friday night pep rallies for the student body prior to games.
Would if the Notre Dame mascot is in any kind of trouble, does that mean the Boston Celtics will be attacked next?
By default, right?
I mean, because their mascot is, now that I remembered this correctly, Lucky Leprechaun, who's got a pipe in his mouth.
And that's who gave your guy the bad juju.
No, he did. You know
when
what?
Kyrie put his foot on the leprechaun's face.
Maybe Kyrie was ahead of the curve. He knew it was so offensive. He
Yeah.
said, I'm going to stump on him.
Listen, the Florida, if you're going after mascots, and we are apparently, not me and Evan, the society is, the leprechaun's not tops of the list. Like,
No.
The Florida State one is clearly
like, as
number
much
one.
as much
Although
as
some people view that as like an ode to that way of life.
As much as you and I and a lot of people mock this and say this is ridiculous, and it is ridiculous. There are some mascots and names over the years that you could take a step back and say, yeah, that's offensive. I can see that.
Names of mascots are?
Well, the Redskin name. Like,
okay,
I understood that issue a
got it.
hell of a lot more than I would understand going after the Cleveland Indians.
You know what's crazy? The leprechaun was on the cover of Time magazine.
What year?
1964. So, there you go. But like, who's pissed off at the leprechaun?
I don't believe anybody is pissed off.
I don't think so either.
No one is actually pissed off.
And I love Notre Dame fighting him. They're like, Notre Dame's like, listen, we're Notre Dame, bring it.
Yeah, right.
We'll come with what you got.
We're
The leprechaun ain't going nowhere.
We're just like our mascot. We will fight you.
We are
okay?
ready to go.
Let's go.
And I was really surprised. Like, I went, as you know, I went to Syracuse, and I'm not, when I said what I said, I wasn't making that up. In like the start of the woke kind of culture and the politically correct stuff, and hey, let's make amends for a bad name, which, okay, who wouldn't agree with that? If there's something offensive, it's offensive, right? Times change. But Nobody that I know of, except this one guy that had a sheet of acid kind of absorbed into his body and thinks he's an orange and tries to peel himself all the time in a mental institution now at a dead show. Orange men wasn't offensive. So I looked up, why did Syracuse change the name from the Syracuse Orange Men, which is what they were known as, to just the Syracuse Orange, right? And obviously you know the mascot. It's an orange.
Right, literally an orange.
Like,
yeah.
it's not a guy with orange face paint on. It's an orange.
Which is lame in its own right, by the way.
I don't disagree.
I mean, it's an orange.
It's an orange.
Let's go see our favorite team, the Apples, as they take on the Bananas.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now, there's a fraternity at Syracuse that has the rights to the orange. And one guy in that fraternity gets a full scholarship to Syracuse to be the orange, because it's like part of the cheerleading squad, whatever.
It's a good deal right there.
Yeah. So here's what I found out. They did not change the name because they thought it was offensive to orange people. So Oompa Loompas, rest assured, it's got nothing to do with you.
Right.
You're okay, all right? It's because they thought it was offensive to women.
Because they were the Orange Men.
Yes.
But
now,
wouldn't they call the female team the Orange
did.
Women?
So when I went there, I did play-by-play for the Syracuse Orange Women. And that's what their official name was.
So then what would be the issue then?
That you're not taking into account women when you only say Orange Men.
But you're not. But that's not true, because when the women's
Evan,
teams
I
are
agree
playing,
with you.
they're the Orange Women. It's not like they're
agree.
making the women be called Orange Men.
Right. I agree. So they thought, let's just... This is like the pre-binary stuff. Let's just say orange, and that way no one could complain.
They were trying to get ahead of the curve, saying, hey, someone will complain about this someday. Let's just do it now.
I believe so.
Was it controversial when it happened?
Evan, I told you, I did play-by-play for Orange Women basketball.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that question. When they decided to make the change, what was the reaction?
We did not. Us as alum.
Did you not care?
No, we were not. We thought it was stupid.
You thought it was stupid?
Because we didn't understand, like, what's the difference? As long as the women are called women, the men are called men, orange comes before both. Like, and as you said, it's an orange.
Right.
It's not like a Native American
No, I know.
or some group of people. It's not Oompa Loompas who do have orange faces, as we all know, from the original Willy Wonka, the greatest one of all time, of course. It's an orange. It's a piece of fruit
Yes.
that doesn't grow within 1,000 miles of Syracuse, New York, by the way.
That's another reason. What is the history of that nickname?
I think it was a contest or something.
And
I'd have to look it up
somehow
again.
they decided to say, let's go with orange.
Orange
like,
seems
the
good.
name in no way makes sense. I get the Lakers in L.A. because they came from Minneapolis. So
Land
we
of
can
1,000
accept-
lakes, right.
Yeah, we can accept that, hey, they never changed the name. Is what it is. But why? And who thought that was a good idea? So lame. That entire school is lame.
I'm assuming it took place during the 60s when drugs were really running rampant on college campuses. Dude, I've got a great idea.
All right, I got the answer.
Let's name our mascot an orange.
The name derived from an article describing an archaeological dig on campus allegedly uncovering the artifacts of a Native American warrior. I know, we're in trouble.
Here we go.
The warrior was called the Saltine Warrior because of the abundance of salt deposits in Syracuse, New York. How the hell did that get to orange, though?
I don't know. By the way, quick update.
What the hell?
Kind of breaking news. Francisco Lindor out of the lineup tonight.
Now, is this a customary day off, or is there any kind of physical concerns from game one?
We talked to Luis Rojas at 5:30 tonight, and we'll find out. All right? So that's a
There's
quick...
other breaking news.
Is there?
That you're going to be very interested in.
Oh, I got a lot of calls I'd like to take.
So you don't want me to tell you? Because you care about I don't care about it. You'll care about it.
Can you tell me after the break? Or, like, do I want to know now?
You would want to know now.
All right. What sport?
Media.
Media. Breaking news in the media.
Yeah. It's something you care about because you brought it up a lot on the air. So I just know you, and I know you care.
Is that right? All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell me.
I don't really care that much. Rachel Nichols is basically out at ESPN. They've canceled the jump. And so even though she's got a year left on her contract, why are you smiling at me? What's wrong with you? Do I look good to you or something?
I can't wait to see Michelle Beadle's tweet.
By the way, Craig, just before I continue the story.
Did Stephen A. Smith not like her, too?
Was I right about saying this is a breaking news story that you care about?
I don't, not that I care about it. I've
You
shown
do.
some interest in it because I'm friendly with Michelle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the jump has been canceled. And so, Rachel, there's no plan for ESPN to put Rachel Nichols back on
Where
TV.
her career went from I'm hosting the NBA Finals to you're gone.
Yeah.
Right? That in a span of what, 3 months?
Yeah.
4 months?
And I always thought that
Like-
show was pretty good, too.
I did too, as a matter of
I've
fact.
watched it a few times. It was actually
So
pretty good.
you're one of the star female voices and faces on the network. You're a key component of our NBA playoff coverage. You said the wrong thing about the wrong woman on a hot mic, and now you're out of a job.
Yeah.
Boy, Stephen A. Smith doesn't like anybody over there.
You saying it's
He's
him?
going to be doing Sports Center, First Take, NFL coverage, game day, everything. I would make sure I get along with that guy. That guy wields all the power over there, Stephen A.
Clearly.
Smith. And I knew when he was just Steve Smith. All right, so there you go. So Rachel Nichols is out? That's it? No role? Like she's not going to Sports Center?
Sports Business Journal, they canceled the show, and she's probably going to just not be on NBA
Just be
programming
paid
at all.
out, and that's it.
Yeah, so she'll probably end up at Fox or something.
Or
at
whoever thinks
NBC
the
Sports.
question is who.
Where did Maria Taylor go?
Retail went to NBC.
Okay, so let's rule.
She's not going to NBC.
No, that's what I'm thinking. So
Yeah.
CBS, Fox, they're candidates.
Turner.
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 Oh yeah, you know what? You just nailed it.
Turner.
Forget Fox and CBS, Turner because of the NBA.
Or she goes to work for the NBA at NBA TV.
That's another possibility.
Not as big a gig, not as much money, but it's still a workable job.
I have a joke, but I'd rather you make the joke than me. So maybe she works for a certain team in the NBA.
She works for a certain team in the NBA.
Trying to set you up, and you just...
I think when you announce the setup, it kind of ruins the setup. But you are doing a minute of stand-up at Gotham, so looking forward to that.
Hey, she could go work for an NBA team. Maybe a team that plays in Florida.
So you trying to make a Jimmy Butler joke?
Yes, I wanted you to make the Jimmy Butler joke.
So-
I have no interest in making the Jimmy Butler joke. You were obsessed with it, so I was trying to hand the football off to my running back. Take the football. Run with it. Go 80 yards.
Well, if I get the ball, I'm going 80. We know that.
Okay, I gave you the ball. Go.
Luis Rojas said Jacob deGrom was blanked by doctors.
What does that mean?
We fill in the blank after this on the
Oh,
fan.
that blanked by doctors.
Blanked by doctors. We'll give you the answer after this.
I feel blanked by the Mets this season.
Yes, well, yeah, every year. Coming to you live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town.
Carton and Roberts is presented by Grubhub. Grubhub guarantees your food will get to you on time within the delivery window and for the lowest price compared to other apps, or you'll get at least $5 in perks. Grubhub works hard to serve restaurants.
Now there's a way to make supporting your favorite restaurant even better. Introducing the Grubhub Guarantee. It's our promise to make sure your food is just right by delivering it on time within the delivery window and for the lowest price compared to other apps. Or you'll get back at least $5 in perks. That way you can experience your food just like the restaurant intended. That's the Grubhub Guarantee.
Young Mozzarella tweeted, I purchased one of those untucked dress shirts and then tucked it in. If anyone out there is looking for a bad boy. Mr. Mozzarella, this tweet made me realize what I've been missing all along. Bad boys. I would like you to be our first tucked-in model. The models on untuckit.com wear their shirts untucked like they were designed to. We want to market to tucked-in bad boys. Please DM us so we can arrange a photo shoot. Find your shirt today at untuckit.com.
I need to try it first.
Tonight, the Mets look to gain some traction and get back in the thick of things as they square off against Chris Bryant and the Giants at Citi Field. Coverage begins with Citi pregame tonight at 6:30, only on SNY.
9/11 didn't end on 9/11. 500,000 people are still at risk, having been exposed to toxic dust linked to 68 cancers and many respiratory illnesses. And now, people with those conditions are more vulnerable to the coronavirus. Thankfully, free health care and compensation are available to anyone with a 9/11-related illness. If you were downtown on or after 9/11, call Barish and McGarry today for a free consultation. No law firm has recovered more money. Free health care and compensation are available to anyone who was there. At Barish and McGarry, 9/11 is personal. With offices just steps from ground zero, they have fought for 9/11 victims since the beginning. They will fight for you.
Call 800-680-1902 or visit 911victims.com. There's a filing deadline, so don't delay. Call 800-680-1902 or visit 911victims.com.
Meet Dom, left fielder, first baseman, and overall nice guy.
Great snag.
Need a clutch hit? Just call Dom. Because he's a big bat with an even bigger heart.
Dom Smith with an opposite field grand slam. Oh, made the catch. Oh, wow. With the Mets down to their final strike, Dom Smith with a tiny hit.
Watch Dominic Smith's story continue with the Mets on SNY. Geico Sports Night on SNY.
What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to the show.
Your nightly source for all things New York sports.
And over to the Mets now.
The Knicks looking to make it 2 in a row.
Just wait until you see what actually went down.
With continuous updates on the latest New York sports news.
More reaction to the Jets.
We welcome in our Yankees insider.
Ian, thanks for joining us with the latest.
More on Dave Gettleman and the Giants.
Geico Sports Night. All night, every night, starting at 11 p.m. only in SNY.
Get your New York sports here.
Welcome to Toyota's National Sales Event.
Ooh, RAV4.
It's a great time to save on the 2021s while they last. Ooh, Venza. Toyota's got an exciting lineup to choose from.
Oh, Highlander. Could you?
Oh, sure. You have to understand, it's the National Sales Event.
Right now, lease a new 2021 RAV4 for just $229 a month. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost service plan with roadside assistance.
Hey, that's my line.
Toyota, let's go places.
Oh, dog food.
Get more to your door with DoorDash.
My ex is dating a Pisces. So I'm like, screw it. Let's talk manifesting. Let's talk chakras. Let's talk self-healing my way through the 12th house.
Set your intentions.
Still up.
Full moon bath ritual. Cleanse and find your magic.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
I found my perfect man, and I locked him down quick. I just can't take my eyes off him. Most of all, I love that he wears bird dog shorts. They're all I buy for him. Normal shorts and underwear separate and ride up. But bird dogs have super soft built-in underwear, so you can just slide them right on. And you're ready to go.
Meet Pete, known to his loved ones as the polar bear. When heaters need to be ripped, Pete rips heaters because he's the best power hitter on the planet.
Pete Alonso strikes again. Into the second deck, second of the night. An enormous home run by Alonso.
Watch Pete Alonso's story continue with the Mets on SNY.
Competition. I can't live like the opposition. Living everything I dreamed of. Doing everything you think of. The way I work, I'm on the brink of. Doing numbers like a brake truck.
I'm on new level.
Geico Sports Night on SNY.
What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to the show.
Your nightly source for all things New York sports.
And over to the Mets now.
The Knicks looking to make it 2 in a row.
Just wait until you see what actually went down.
With continuous updates on the latest New York sports news.
More reaction to the Jets.
We welcome in our Yankees insider.
Ian, thanks for joining us with the latest.
More on Dave Gettleman and the Giants.
Geico Sports Night. All night, every night, starting at 11 p.m. only in SNY.
Get your New York sports here.
Given a massage by a doctor? No. He was not given a massage by a doctor. No. Jacob deGrom was cleared by a doctor to start playing catch today after a clean MRI this morning. Still no plan in place for his return other than he is scheduled to come off the 60-day on September 13th.
I have to switch microphones.
Your microphone is not working?
Nope.
Did you guys do something on your end with it? Possibly.
Not that I know of, no.
Well, I know it's possible that you did. See if that mic's working. That mic's not working out.
Oh, now it is.
Is that so? Maybe try that one. Maybe he pushed
Was
the
it
button.
you, Big Mac? All right, I'll try it again.
Yeah.
Just try that microphone again. Chris
I'm
is
sabotaging the show.
Chris is in Pleasantville. Chris, how are you?
Good. So listen, I'm Irish. Grew up rooting for Notre Dame, and I was fortunate enough to go to grad school at Notre Dame. And I think that if they cancel the Fighting Irish or the Leprechaun, it would be offensive and disrespectful to every Irish person.
Well, I don't think they're going. The point is they're not going to because Notre Dame fought it. You know, if you have weaker kind of stomached organizations, schools, groups, etc., that don't, jump at the first sign of any type of trouble, then that's how, people make changes when maybe a change isn't required or needed.
I don't like sitting this close to you. I had to switch to sit close to you, and it's weird.
All right, what do you want me to do?
You kind of smell.
Well, I don't smell.
Did you put cologne on this morning?
I chaos.
You have Carton cologne?
I wear chaos all the time.
It should have been on. I wore Carton cologne this morning.
Good. Yes.
You know that?
So we wear the same cologne. CeeLo is wearing it today. Half the building wears it today.
I only wore it because I couldn't find my regular cologne. Sorry,
it is
bro.
now your regular cologne.
It's not my regular cologne.
It should be your regular cologne.
I have another thing that's for my regular cologne.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Here's another breaking story. Noah Syndergaard will start a rehab assignment tomorrow at Class A Brooklyn.
Well, hold on a second, because I was distracted by this mic thing.
Go ahead.
So Jacob deGrom has been cleared.
To have a catch.
So that means his MRI today came back clean.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
Like it always does.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
He's had 7 clean MRIs and hasn't pitched in 2 months.
But obviously the guy had pain at some point.
Fight through it, dude.
So he's going to now start throwing. Okay, great. Then what? Like, how long does he have to throw without pain before we get to the next level, which would be like a bullpen session?
I tell you what, I know this is going to be me overreaching a tad and looking for something to complain about. But lately, every time I see him smiling, like with not a care in the world, pregame or in the dugout, it pisses me off.
Oh, does it piss you off?
Yeah.
Does it really?
It's like, dude, Rome is burning. You're not helping put the fire out, and you're smiling?
Let me ask you something.
I don't care for that.
Do you honestly think?
Yeah.
And by the way, you missed it, and I wouldn't expect you to listen to it. Albert Bell, when he was on, called deGrom out and said basically he's soft and he's afraid of the pressure.
There you go.
Which I think is ridiculous.
But it also means
it's
other people probably feel that way.
Okay.
Right?
Do you really feel that way, though?
I think he's a hypochondriac.
Dude, the guy's
I don't think he's soft. That's not a fair assessment. But what I've said repeatedly and consistently to you, to Luis, to Zach Scott, to whomever is, there's no injury.
Okay, but then how do you explain?
Seven.
I get it.
Clean MRIs.
Okay, but I just want to further this.
It baffles doctors.
How do you explain he pitched in 17? He pitched in 18. He pitched in 19. He didn't have issues in 2020. This is not a guy who has a history of shutting himself down over every little thing.
I don't know. I wish I knew. It baffles me. It baffles medical experts,
I think it's easy to understand. He's feeling pain. And what worries me is that, well, why is he feeling that pain? Is it something he's doing? What's the difference between Jacob deGrom of 2018 and Jacob deGrom of right now?
Great question.
No, there's an answer.
He's throwing harder?
He throws harder. All right? Wind-up's the same. Everything looks the same. His workouts seem to be the same. Everything's the same.
Yeah.
What's the one difference? He throws harder.
Yeah.
So to me, and I get it, I'm a peasant. What the hell do I know? That comes back to the thing that ultimately concerns me.
Listen, there's something going on. I don't think he's making it up, but it bothers me when you have in theory, on paper, the best medical experts in the world, and they've now seven clean MRIs, and they're like, we can't tell you it doesn't bother you, but we can't tell you why it bothers you.
So what do you want him to do? Just pitch through it the entire time?
No. I think at this point, the season's essentially over, so no, that'd be pointless. But according to one of the writers, the Mets do want him to do that.
Well, I think the point of them wanting him to come back, again, I'm not super on board with this, but what I do understand is he hasn't pitched in the second half of the year. And I think it would mean something to Jake and the Mets to see him come back from this and pitch. Because if my theory is right, Craig, right, that there's something about the way he's throwing now that could reemerge during this process of coming back.
I don't know.
If you just shut him down, what the hell do you get out of it?
I don't know. I hope they don't pull some kind of, hey, we got eliminated from the postseason. Here's a ticket-selling scheme.
It's not,
ploy thing.
I don't look at it that way.
I hope they don't do that.
First of all, you think, seriously, I love Jake.
Yeah.
That's not selling tickets. Not now.
Jacob deGrom back
Not
at Citi
now.
Field?
Not
Sell
now.
tickets.
Not
No.
now. The historical season is gone. It's not a historical season anymore. Late September, the Mets are 9 games out. I'm sorry. I don't think anybody's buying a ticket to see Jacob deGrom throw 45 pitches and pitch 3 innings.
Yeah, but there are some wackos out there that would.
I'd go because I love him, but
so you're one of them. Say you would go because you love him. We're working on fixing your microphone, Evan.
Yeah, I don't like seeing this close to
Well, you broke it. So
I did not break it. I didn't even touch it.
No,
you did something.
You manhandle it like it's the,
Like it's what?
I don't want to say.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You glob on that microphone like you never saw one before.
What?
Yeah, you manhandle
I
it.
treat that microphone like artwork.
Well, then you wouldn't have broken it.
I didn't break it.
You broke it.
McMonagle broke it. He comes back. All of a
broke it.
sudden, Big Mac's breaking things.
Steve's in Flemington, New Jersey on the fan. Steve, how are you?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. How's it going?
Doing
today?
great, thanks.
Beautiful.
You know, Craig, I don't know what the setup is here on the Jets.
Yeah.
What exactly are you watching? I mean, I like Zach Wilson, but I do read the papers, and evidently they're having problems blocking first-team lines.
Yeah.
How do you have them winning 11 games?
10 games. 10 games. They're going to be 10-7 this year because he's going to be the greatest rookie quarterback since Patrick Mahomes
The
played in
11
his
win
second
thing,
year.
that's crazy. Just stick with 10 for now.
10. Here's the other thing. If you listen to the experts, let's even if you want to call me a non-expert. Laughable, but okay, fine.
I would never.
It's okay. Every single expert, guys that you respect, guys that played the game and now comment on the game, and this is universal. Every one of them, no one has said anything different. He is the star of the draft. He's arguably the best running quarterback they've seen, not named Patrick Mahomes. And there's an expectation now that this kid is special. 10-7.
Yeah, but did you listen to
Bang.
what Steve said? He talked about the offensive line protecting, which they've done in the preseason games, by the way. Like they have. And
Against the second-team defense.
no, I understand. Dude, I'm not saying you're wrong. I think you're righter than Craig is. Craig is on this whimsical dream, which
Can I be
would
positive,
love.
please?
Bro, see, you turn this into me and Steve being negative. We're not being negative. We're being realistic. You're putting Zach Wilson in the class of Dan Marino.
Right.
He hasn't done anything yet.
Well, okay.
This defense has already taken major blows with the injury to Carl Lawson specifically.
And now Vinny Curry, the defensive end,
the
he's
Vinny
out
Curry
for the
thing
year.
stinks, and I feel terrible for him. But the Carl Lawson thing is a punch in the stomach. Plus, they didn't have corners to begin with.
Yeah.
So use that expert knowledge that you have.
I am an expert.
And please explain to me and every other Jet fan that's not being negative or being realistic, how the hell you could look at this roster
Yeah.
and somehow come out of it and say 10 wins.
Easy schedule.
Because, why? Because a few experts said Zach Wilson's the greatest quarterback ever. I have heard plenty of experts say a lot of things about a lot of people, and I can wipe my rear end with it.
Yeah.
No
Well, not
offense
this
to
year.
them.
Not this year. It's special. It's
Oh,
different.
this year's different?
It's different. Guys that are special are different. The guys that watch this for a living who break down mechanics and break all that crap
They
down.
said the same thing about Mark Sanchez.
And Mark Sanchez went to back-to-back AFC championship
Zach Wilson
games.
needs to be better than Mark Sanchez.
You're damn right he does. And by the way, he will be. Because he is better. And I love Mark Sanchez. He's a dear friend.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
We have an update. This just popped into my head.
Is it an update or just a head-popping thing?
No, I'm going to be really douchey right now. I just want to warn you.
So here we go.
What's today? What's today? I forgot what today is.
August 25th.
No, what day of the week is it, Craig?
August 25th.
That would be
Miércoles.
a Wednesday, right?
Wednesday.
Craig Carton, a guy I trust, a guy I love, I'd even say I love you, came on the radio on Monday and made a guarantee to me. He made a guarantee to the audience. He said, guys, I don't love it. I'm just giving you the news.
Yeah.
By Wednesday, today's Wednesday, Deshaun Watson will be traded to the Miami Dolphins.
Done deal.
Is it?
Yep. Is the day over yet?
Oh, no.
Sir, yes or no? Has the business day closed? Is it not 3 hours earlier in California and an hour earlier in Houston, Texas?
So if that's the case,
8 o'clock tonight.
Let's do it. Craig Carton is reporting that by the end of today,
I mean, you may
Deshaun
not read about it till tomorrow morning, but okay, yeah.
Okay.
The deal will be done today.
Are you standing by your reporting from a few days ago?
I am standing by my reporting.
Did everyone else forget about this? Any loyal listener to Carton and Roberts that this was something
I had a
you
couple
said?
people on Twitter reach out to me.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm not alone in this. It just hit me right now as we were talking football. We're talking football, man. Little pigskin action, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
It just hit me. Today's Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday, all day, by the way.
Today is a day that I feared because I don't want Deshaun Watson traded to the Miami Dolphins.
I don't want to be right, but I happen to typically be right. It's a curse. At the same time, it's a gift, Evan, that I get things right. Sometimes, unfortunately, it takes a little bit longer for me to be proven right.
Sure.
This is one of those cases that, yeah, it's going to pain me because our favorite team now has to play him twice a year.
So by the end of today, Deshaun Watson's a Dolphin. Okay.
When you and I wake up tomorrow morning, you will wake up to the news that your partner scooped everybody.
So 2:02 tomorrow, we're going to hear the Craig Carton laugh. I told you guys. You didn't listen to me.
Yep, that's right.
I told you.
That's right.
Okay.
And it's a midweek Latvian Easter.
Okay.
So remember, well, Eastern Latvia. Yeah. Western Latvia, there's a whole thing.
Whatever you say.
They don't even celebrate Easter.
I just wanted to remind you today was Wednesday. That's all.
I appreciate that. When did you have that epiphany? Have
5 minutes ago.
It just happened?
Just hit me.
Just
like,
dawned on
as you
you?
were talking about the Jets, and I was thinking about things, I was like, what's today? I forgot what today is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
What do I do on Wednesdays?
We
that's right.
watched Deshaun Watson change uniforms.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then the real question then becomes, who does Tua get traded to? Because he's gone.
That's the next step?
Yep. Why do you think they were showing him off to the league last weekend?
Well, Denver just named Teddy Bridgewater their starter.
Which is good news, maybe, for the Giants, or would you rather have Drew Lock? Probably
Teddy
Drew Lock.
Bridgewater's better than Drew Lock.
Yeah, so if you're a Giant fan, just in case you missed that, Evan's got that. Teddy Bridgewater's the opening week starter, and that's who you'll play week 1.
Yeah.
We play against Sam Darnold.
Don't do that. Don't.
W.
Don't do this.
You know what's going to happen? Sam Darnold's going to make our weak cornerbacks look like Ronnie Lott reincarnated.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, we got Dion playing? Is Dion the starting cornerback for the Jets?
See, optimistic Craig and a cocky Craig on a team that won 2 games last year.
10-7. New York Jets 10-7. And until I see otherwise, I'm dying on that hill.
Until you
and all
see
you negative
otherwise?
Nellies out there, wah, we don't have this, wah, we don't have that. We got Zach Wilson.
Well, hold on. If Sam Darnold makes our corners look like what our corners are, and let's say the Jets lose week 1 to Carolina.
Yeah.
Now, let's say the
Well,
finals.
that's one of those, I have that pegged as a win.
Right. So you're already wrong. If that happens, will you come in Monday,
9-8.
September 13th, and say, boy, I was wrong.
9-8.
Oh, so you'll just move to 9-8.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we haven't seen them play a real game
And by the way, I want you to be right.
Yes.
Like, I am rooting for you as much as any human can root for another human right
when
now.
people think of Carton Roberts, I think typically they view me as the happy-go-lucky positive one.
And I'm
you're
negative?
probably viewed more, not that you are, but you're viewed more as the kind of closed-minded, argumentative, negative one.
Well, just remember this, and I think this statement is true about me. I would rather be wrong and happy than right and miserable. Craig is the exact opposite.
I don't never want to be miserable.
You want to be right more so than being happy. Now, the Jets are both. Like, if they win 10 wins, you're happy because you're a Jet fan.
I got them covered both ways.
But you would rather be right. Like, I'll give you a great example. Deshaun Watson. You've admitted. Like, Deshaun Watson going to the Dolphins is bad if you're a Jet fan long term.
This is a very unique situation, but I'm with you. You will make your point on this one.
Thank you.
And I can't argue because I would like to be right.
You want to be right, yeah.
Because I'm the only guy from months who's ever connected him to Miami.
Yes,
right?
There's
been a lot of Fugazi reports out there. I've been consistent at it's Miami all the way.
I would give you that, bro.
Yes.
You have been
But
insistent on this.
That does pain me as a Jet fan.
Now,
the good news is that my team's going 10-7. So.
No, your attitude's going to be, you know what? Who cares? We'll beat them anyway.
Yeah.
Which is a great positive attitude to have. Unfortunately, it's not realistic.
Let me just go online real quick and let me just Google to see what my man is up to right now.
Who's your man? Deshaun Watson?
How about this?
What do you got?
Deshaun Watson worked out on a separate field today.
Peculiar. Yep.
Peculiar.
Peculiar?
Why would they have Deshaun working out on a separate field away from all of his Texans teammates. Perhaps because he's no longer a Texan?
Why would he even be there, period, if he was no longer a Texan?
Interesting. Deshaun working out by himself, yet at the Houston complex. Why did the Miami Dolphins showcase Tua in that preseason game last weekend?
He's their starting quarterback.
Into the second half.
He needs reps.
So does Daniel Jones. He hasn't gotten one.
I knew you were going to do that.
Right?
I knew that was going to be
So
twisted.
all of a sudden, if you start putting the pieces of the puzzle together, it starts to make sense. Connect the dots. Connect the dots.
I don't want to connect the dots. I want to see the picture when it's done. When that picture is done, you can call me any time of night, by the way. Like, as soon as that thing's official, 1 a.m., I'll be up anyway, looking for more damning audio of you saying something about the Yankees from 2 months ago.
Connect the dots.
No, show me the picture. I don't want to connect any dots.
You want to see the picture of Deshaun working out by himself?
No.
I have the picture of it. He's all by himself. No Texan players anywhere near him. That's it. Working out by... Now, why would the starting quarterback of the Houston Texans, who has not been suspended by the league...
Because they're not going to start him. Like, that part I agree with. Like, the Texans' game plan here is they're not going to play him. I guess Tyrod Taylor's the starter, right? He's the guy, at least for now.
I don't know. But I know who's not practicing with the team, and yet he's practicing.
I need the Eagles to trade for Deshaun Watson so badly.
Eagles made an offer.
Good. I need them to trade for Deshaun. That would be the ultimate.
And then Devontae Smith dropped 4 balls in the last preseason game, and people started questioning whether or not they wanted to trade him too. Carton and Roberts on the Fan. Great having you with us here today. We have Luis Rojas coming up. I think at 5:30. Am I right on that?
You are.
Is it 5:30?
It's 5:30.
He's doing batting practice for the team again. That's really worked out well, Luis.
I wonder if they hit him.
Gotta ask him.
He might win a Cy Young by throwing batting practice to the New York Mets.
You're right.
Is that not possible?
You're right.
We are live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Town Fair Tire is Connecticut's largest name brand discount tire dealer. And with Town Fair Tire, you get the guaranteed lowest price on all name brand tires. They honor all manufacturers' rebates. They even honor competitors' rebates. More than 100 stores from Connecticut through New England and an inventory of over 600,000 tires.
Carton and Roberts is presented by Grubhub. Grubhub guarantees your food will get to you on time within the delivery window and for the lowest price compared to other apps, or you'll get at least $5 in perks. Grubhub works hard to serve restaurants.
You're watching golf videos now.
Oh, in fact, I am, yeah, because I switched to Spectrum Mobile, so I get 5G nationwide, including here.
You think a golf video is going to help with what you're doing?
Oh, no, it's not just a video. I saved a bunch of money when I switched, so I hired a swing coach. Say hi to Brett.
Hey. Well, you tell Brett you just shot a 12 on the last hole.
Who's counting?
Everybody. That's the whole point of golf. Counting.
Brett did tell me that.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile and save, and get 5G nationwide included in every plan. It's a better way to mobile. It's Spectrum Mobile.
Dan Cronin tweeted, I was lonely for a little bit, but fortunately, I got yet another email from Untuckit. Dan, if Untuckit can cure your loneliness, don't wait for an email. Just put one on. There are so many occasions to break out your favorite shirt. There are Zoom calls, Zoom happy hours, Zoom coffee breaks, Zoom weddings, and Zoom Zooms, which are Zooms where you schedule other Zooms. Dan, no matter what the occasion is, you'll be the sharpest dressed person there. Find your shirt today at untuckit.com.
I need to try it first.
Tonight, the Mets look to gain some traction and get back in the thick of things as they square off against Chris Bryant and the Giants at Citi Field.
Base hit and the Mets win the ball game.
Coverage begins with Citi pregame tonight at 6:30, only on SNY.
Hey, Dad. I'm getting picked on by these guys at school.
Why is that?
Because I'm not like that.
That's not an answer, Jake.
Because I'm gay.
We won't let nature take its course.
Critics are hailing Mark Wahlberg's performance in Joe Bell as the best performance of his career.
My own son took his own life because he was bullied, and I'm on a walk for change.
Joe Bell is a must-see.
There's a lot of things I've learned out here. I've still got a long road ahead of me.
Joe Bell, rated R.
I can't fight this guy.
I watch you train every day. You ready?
You're a sideshow. You're giving real fighters a bad name.
This kid's the real deal.
Nick Nolf against Rich Reynolds for the lightweight championship belt.
Meet Pete, known to his loved ones as the polar bear. When heaters need to be ripped, Pete rips heaters because he's the best power hitter on the planet.
Strikes again. Into the second deck, second of the night. An enormous home run by Alonso.
Watch Pete Alonso's story continue with the Mets on SNY.
Welcome to Toyota's National Sales Event.
Thanks, I'm here for a great deal.
Great deals are kind of our thing. You can save on the 2021s while they last, like Camry, Venza, Corolla.
Watching them come and go is really getting to my neck.
Occupational hazard this time of year. Gotta keep it loose.
You can lease a new 2022 Corolla for just $159 a month, or lease a new 2022 Corolla Hybrid for just $159 a month. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost service plan.
It all ends September 7th.
Toyota, let's go places.
Oh, dog food. Get more to your door with DoorDash.
My ex is dating a Pisces. So I'm like, screw it. Let's talk manifesting. Let's talk chakras. Let's talk self-healing my way through the 12th house.
Set your intentions.
Still up.
Full moon bath ritual. Cleanse and find your magic.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
I just want a genuine guy, someone who can handle themselves. I want experimental. I just want a guy who doesn't worry about silly things, like underwear. Bird dog shorts have the underwear built in. Maybe I just need a guy who wears bird dogs.
I have bird dogs.
Ugh, sorry.
I can't live like the opposition. Living everything I dreamed of. Doing everything you think of. The way I work, I'm on the brink of. Doing numbers like a brake truck.
I'm on new level.
In 2020, cardboard cutouts claimed their place as legitimate New York sports fans.
Whoa! Did you catch that walk-off home run in the 10th? Right into the stands.
Oh, yeah. I caught it all right.
That was you.
In the flesh.
It looks really good.
Really?
No.
SNY, every team for every fan from every device.
Get your New York sports here.
Documentary on the 1986 Mets. Listen, I love the 86 Mets. I don't want to be clear. I'm probably going to watch it.
You're going to watch it.
But do we need another one? Is there anything that took place in 86 that hasn't been told or written about or broadcast? Like, we did the Doc and Darryl documentary, remember?
Yes.
Where they meet that diner, right?
Yeah,
and it was the first time they'd kind of connected in a long time. With the stories had been told, right?
Right.
And yet, I guess I'm going to watch it. You're right. I'm going to watch it. But, like, how many more do we need on that team?
There's another aspect of this that gets to me, and maybe it's going to get to me more than it certainly gets to you and others, depending on your age. I have great admiration for the 86 Mets. I do. I've read books about them. I've watched documentaries, like you've said. But every time I hear or watch another story about the 86 Mets, I get depressed. Because I didn't experience it. I was 3 years old. And for anyone under the age of 40, that would be the line of demarcation, maybe a little older, 42. They're a story to you. You didn't experience it. And it starts to get sadder and sadder that that's all we got. That's the championship we're celebrating, and it happened a long freaking time ago. And every story's been told.
Yeah, like we know Ray Knight and Strawberry didn't get along. They thought Kevin Mitchell was a drug dealer. Doc had a death wish with cocaine, missed the parade because he was in a drug house in the Bronx. Yeah, we know. We get it. Like I lived it. You read it. You know it. We've done. And then I guess the Strawberry interview in this doc is him really spending a lot of time, again, talking about his abusive father, which he's been very open about in an effort to help other kids, I guess, who live in that kind of domestic violence situation. I had this weird thought about it. So if you take a guy like Darryl Strawberry, who's a product of his environment, right? Or take a guy like Michael Jackson, take a guy like Andre Agassi, who had abusive fathers. And the father's abuse drove them to become the special athletes or performers, in Michael Jackson's case, that they became, right? Mm-hmm. Without the taskmaster, there's no special performer, to be fair, right? And I always wondered, if you went to, Agassi's still alive, Michael's not, obviously, and I've never asked Al Strawberry this, if you could go back in time, and I'll give you the normal white picket fence, mom and dad are together, happy family, turkey in the oven on Thanksgiving, all the things that Norman Rockwell painted pictures about and we all aim for as parents now for our kids. But you lose what made you special as an athlete or a performer. Would you trade it? What do you think? And I don't know the answer. I'm just throwing it out there. But it dawns on me that a lot of guys like Straw, who grew up in these oppressive home environments where there was violence, legitimate violence, like his dad walked into the house with a double-barreled shotgun and was going to kill everybody in the house. And Darryl and his brother went to grab weapons to go fight his dad off. And only because his mother intervened and said, essentially, let him hit me, you guys go. Did they not potentially die that day or kill their father? but I always wondered if you could have the idyllic childhood,
but not the great success that you then had.
But you don't become the multi-million-dollar performer, the wealthy beyond your dreams, the iconic figure you became. Would you trade it?
That's a tough one because you'd still potentially have a great life, even if you're not a great slugger that won a world championship.
Sure.
Or a great tennis player. Like, you could still have, hey, I got married, I had kids, I was a CPA, or I worked at a diner, or I drove a bus, but, man, I had a great life.
Sure.
I don't know, I bet you, it's tough.
I don't think a lot of guys would trade it. Well, like, I think if you talk to Andre, who despised his father, and I don't know if they ever reconciled, so I don't want to say that I do, because I don't, but I did talk to him once about his childhood. He wrote about it, right, in the book. I just wonder, like, that oppressive childhood created something in you that made you this phenom, this success beyond your wildest dreams, financially, attention, all celebrity, all that stuff, right? Now as an adult, if I took all that away, the celebrity's gone, the money's gone, the attention's gone, the special treatment, all gone, but you grew up with a normal dad, what would you do?
In working with you for how many months have we been on together?
6.
6 months? 9 months? It's more than 6 months.
No, I think it's 6.
It's way more than that.
We
started in November. It's August.
It's November.
Yeah, so it's like 7 months.
Okay,
10.
9 months, whatever
it's
it is.
10 months.
4 weeks.
4 weeks. I take that as a compliment, I think. I'm not sure.
10 months.
You have told many a story, not on the level of Andre Agassi or Darryl Strawberry, that you had a rough childhood.
I had a different childhood than most.
Different childhood.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, I want to make it clear, not on the level of an Agassi or Strawberry. But you would, or maybe yes, you correct me. It's your childhood. I don't know.
There's some moments.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You have become, I know you're very humble, so I'll do it for you, pretty big radio star. #1, mornings, now in afternoons, a lot of success. You'd have to admit that your growing up probably impacted the person you became. And the person that you are and the star that you are.
Yeah.
So would you trade however you want to describe your childhood? That's up to you. I don't know it well enough.
Yeah.
But it means you're not the radio success you became. Would you trade it?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
So that helps you get the answer. Then I think more people would say that than you think.
Well, I don't know.
You think?
It just dawned on me, like, I'm thinking about, Strawberry's the big takeaway from Strawberry on this, because I'm sure he's sick and tired of talking about, the same stories about, 1986 is, I've got a platform, I'm going to use my platform to talk about my abusive dad. And that's apparently what he does a lot in this particular documentary, which is his right to do, right? Made him the man he was, I suppose.
Sure.
I just wondered if you would trade it.
I think the answer is yes now.
Because I said yes? Well, why don't I just, I said that kind of flippantly, so I'm going to stick with it. There are aspects of my success in my career that, of course, I hold very dear.
Well, but don't you think...
But there's more aspects. I had an interesting childhood, not just from the way my family is and was, but other things that happened to me outside the scope of their ability to protect me. Like, I was assaulted as a kid, as a 10-year-old. Over the course of 8 weeks. And I don't talk about that at all, really, and I probably should at some point for my own well-being. But, I dealt with the most disgusting, sexual abuse a child could endure.
Now, does that shape you as an adult?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah. For me, if I could relive my life and not have gone through that...
Well, but that's the thing.
Be a garbage man? Sign me up.
You ask a question, a very good question, that a lot of us, some of us, I can't say a lot of us, can't answer. Maybe it's because of the lack of great success that an Agassi had or a Strawberry had or you had, but also doesn't have that childhood experience. So most of us can't answer that. It's a hypothetical on what would Darryl Strawberry do. That's the only reason I turn and ask you.
Would you rather have had an abusive childhood but great adult success financially and
my answer?
And adulation? Or would you have rather had a normal childhood and none of the adulation, financial success, etc.?
To me, a hypothetical, because I didn't experience that, my answer would be yes,
because you also had a very normal, healthy,
I had a normal childhood.
American childhood.
Right.
So
but
we come from different places,
correct, but if you give me the opposite right now, I will flippantly say, no, I don't want the adult success. I'll take the normal child.
I give you a chance to be Michael Jackson, alive today. versus be Evan Roberts.
Evan Roberts. No.
You take Evan Roberts.
I'll take myself. I'm
not talking about the accusations. I'm saying that level of success.
No, I absolutely not.
Your father's an a-hole,
No
drives
shot.
you, grinds you, is a douche, and you're now worth $1 billion and the most famous guy on the planet.
No shot.
Or you're Evan Roberts.
Yeah, I'm happy with who I am. Right. The guy who does a slip and slide and falls on his derriere. That's me, and I'm proud of it,
All
baby.
Right. Well, that's a good place to be.
I
It's
score
healthy.
baseball games, and I'm going to put my blood on it and sell it. By the way, I'm working on that.
Well, that's very healthy. Good
Thank
for you. That's a healthy way to live, and I wish more people had it.
Thank you.
I wish I had it. I don't. I try to pay that forward to my kids, but my childhood wasn't that. So it's just interesting to me, like hearing Strawberry talk about that. That's now his focus.
Right.
I would think that if you said to Darryl Strawberry, "You're not Darryl Strawberry, but your dad was a great guy,"
But you know
he
what?
would probably say yes.
Don't you think there'll be that caveat of Darryl saying, "I could have been both, though"?
Because I was this God-given talent.
I had a God-given talent.
But maybe
I
the anger towards his father created the work ethic to get the hell out of where he was. I don't know.
Very possible.
Yeah. Like Andre Agassi despised his father, resented his father.
Right.
And that drove him, to kind of prove his father wrong when his father would be critical of him as a kid playing tennis.
Right.
He wanted to be that guy.
But think about it this way, and I'll use Strawberry as an example. So let's say Darryl had that great childhood, right? And very early on, his mom and dad discover he's got some talent for baseball. Man, we got an athlete here. And he isn't pressured, he isn't abused, but he's motivated, and they get him in a little league, and they take him on travel tournaments. Where does Darryl Strawberry end up?
I don't know.
He could end up in the same place, if not better.
Maybe.
So
I
don't know if you have to look at the negative
What if I give
childhood.
you a chance to trade lives with DeGrom?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm not...
Would you rather be
the
Jacob
caveat?
DeGrom? I don't know. Someone on Twitter goes, you asked the wrong question. Ask Kevin if he would trade places with DeGrom.
Would I want to be Jacob DeGrom?
Yeah.
And I can get, like... I gotta throw this out there because I want to be fair. I get my same kids, my same wife, like all of that's the same, right?
I want that. I guess it's hypothetical.
And I
Why
can
not?
be
Sure.
Jacob DeGrom as opposed to doing a show with you every day.
Well, don't look at me every day. Just you. You're not the guy that can't walk on a slip and slide without being mocked.
All right, fine. I got it. Yes, I would accept
So
that
you would
change.
trade your life for DeGrom's life?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, that person on Twitter came up with a good one. Because I don't know if there's many other athletes I would have said yes to. Or many other people. Like, I love presidents. There's no president I would switch lives with. You can't come up with any.
Would you trade your life for Harden, Durant, or Kyrie's?
Harden, Durant, or Kyrie? You know what? The reason
Don't forget, the Nets give you whatever you want.
Yeah, they do.
Secret houses on the road.
And I've had a hell of a life, man.
Oh, but I forgot.
All right.
You have your family stuff. My bad on that. You don't get to take advantage of that
I wouldn't
stuff.
if I went that way.
Yeah, you don't get to take advantage of those private houses that no one knows
you
about.
know what? I
or
love
Instagram models.
I love KD specifically.
You'd go KD? You'd switch?
KD would be the one, but I'd probably still say no because I think as a kid, the sport I played and dreamt of playing more than any other sport was baseball. Like I was never,
That's your thing.
and I'm not trying to say I was ever great at baseball, but I could at least look presentable at times. Basketball was never going to be my thing.
Fair enough.
You know what
Here's Milton in Brooklyn on the fan. Milton, what's going on, Cookie?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Wow. Listen, you guys are doing a great job, and I have a couple of stories. Now, this is going back to 1996. I went on a West Coast trip to see the Yankees play.
Yeah.
Seattle, Oakland, and Anaheim. When we was in Seattle, we had an extra ticket because my friend's girl had some other thing to do. So we did not want to give this ticket to a Seattle fan, so we stood in the parking lot and said, if you're a Yankee fan, raise your hand. We have a question. So we gave like a...
Did you actually
question.
say that? If you're a Yankee fan, raise your hand. It's trivia time in the parking lot?
I was not giving a ticket unless they could answer this question. So we found the guy. The guy says, listen, I can give this ticket to some of this kid. I'm the former agent of Darryl Strawberry. And we were like, yeah, okay. And then he starts talking to us stuff, showing us pictures and showing us stuff and proving it. He goes into the game with us. We're sitting behind home plate. Strawberry's waving at him. And then he just starts telling us these two stories that were just incredible. Now, I don't know, if they're going to bring it up or if this ever brings it up. The one story was, you remember when Strawberry dove in the outfield and broke his thumb?
Right.
Okay, so apparently that didn't really happen. He faked that on the field because he was hanging out 3, 4 in the morning, comes home, and his wife was waiting for him. And when he opened the door, she swung a baseball bat, and Strawberry went to block it.
Wow.
And she broke his thumb. So he goes to the park next day and does the fake dive. And then, he goes on the DL. That was one story.
Totally believable the way, those guys were living their lives back then.
Any story you come up with about the 86 Mets, we would shrug and say,
Milton,
that's believable.
The greatest story ever told, and has not been told a lot, is that there's a guy, I'm going to say guy, I'm not going to say the player's name because I'm not sure how well known this story is anymore, but it was told to us on the air, so I know it's been public because we heard it. There's a guy on the Mets in the clubhouse. He's an attractive gal. It's at Shea Stadium, and they kind of motion to one another. He has the clubhouse kid go up with a ball, sign, meet me downstairs. So in the middle of an inning, the woman goes downstairs, one of the clubhouse attendants gets her, and she has sex with a Met player during the game.
Right.
All right. So word spreading amongst the guys that this particular player just had sex with a woman who's at the game during the game.
It's got to be a pitcher because
hang on.
It's in between innings. You don't have time.
Word filters to a certain outfielder on the New York Mets that this just took place. This particular outfielder says, if anyone on this team is having sex with a fan during the game, it's me. Go get her to come back. So the clubhouse attendant goes back to the same woman and says, so-and-so would like you to come back down. She says, no problem. Comes back down, and in the home half of an inning, the guy goes into the trainer's room, has sex with her, and then comes back to the game.
Oh, God.
And makes them and explains to the team, nobody does that unless it's me doing it.
Now, how did that guy perform on the field after the game? Do we have stats?
That I can't.
Do we have an OPS? Do we have a WAR number to break down?
I'm going to assume, knowing the guy, he had no problem.
Well, you said outfielder, so that does narrow it down.
Yeah, narrows down to about 5 guys.
Yeah.
You got to, throw a dart, good chance you hit the guy.
Who told the story?
The guy that was the second guy to have sex with the woman.
Craig, if the guy said the story on the air, in the archives of Boomer and Carton, then you can gladly repeat who the guy was.
But it was said so long ago, and I don't believe has maintained its place as a known story.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to be, because I'm a good guy, and I'm trying to live my life in a different manner, I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, you're a very good guy.
You got 1 in 5 choices.
We
can name the players if you want.
You want me to?
You got Mookie Wilson. You got Lenny Dykstra.
Well, he's a major candidate.
You got Darryl Strawberry.
Darryl's a candidate.
You got Kevin Mitchell. You have George Foster earlier in the year.
Yeah, then they released him,
Right. And who am I missing?
Well, but wait a second. If you're going to go...
Was Lee Mazzilli?
Lee Mazzilli came back in the second half of the year,
Right.
Wait a second, but I want to go back to something. If you said no one in this locker room is going to do it besides me...
Well, the point was, I'm the big dog in
Yeah, well, okay, so stop right there.
That's the point.
Okay, so that's got to be somebody with cachet.
I'm not saying.
That's got to be somebody who's done something. That's got to be someone who's got the ability to say that.
Yeah, well...
So...
I'm not telling you the name.
I know the name. Well, I have an educated guess on the name.
You got a 1 in 5 shot, and let me be fair, it ain't Mookie.
No, I never thought it was Mookie.
No one else ever thought it was him either.
Mookie's not.
Mookie was more on the Gary Carter side of the fence on that team.
Yes.
Who was a bit of a teetotaler.
Would you be excited?
May he rest in peace.
Would you be excited if that story was told in this 86 documentary?
Yeah, but what's weird about it is that story, for some reason, because it was told so kind of nonchalantly, like, you think that's a good story, here's one for you, like, that it never had legs, where I don't think it's going to be told.
Well, first of all, it happened with you and Boomer?
Yes.
Okay, so it was on this station.
It was on this radio station, yeah.
I mean, I guarantee after it happened, Joe and I spoke about it for a few minutes.
I would think.
I'm pretty sure.
Back then, you guys pretended not to listen a lot.
Stop. That's not true.
Yeah.
This is in your head.
Like, if we ended the show talking about one thing, you guys started talking about something else. Never made sense.
Well, no. In fairness,
yes.
The last, 15 minutes of your show, I'd never be able to hear.
Well, because you guys were in the building preparing for your show.
Yeah, so that answers that.
Yeah, no worries. But it was said on this radio station.
If we heard that interview, I guarantee that we did. Can you believe this, bro? Wait, so who was it? Just say.
I'm not telling you.
Oh, come on.
The story is the story. Like, it doesn't make the story better if I tell you the people.
No, it does.
And I know both people. He told us both people.
Would you admit
I know
that
the guy that had sex with the girl first.
Okay, the guy
and the guy that then called her back down to have sex with her again.
Would you admit that the guy who did it first was
That's
a
some
pitcher?
girl, by the way, huh? That's a real lady right there.
Was it a pitcher?
I'm not.
I think it was a pitcher.
You mean the first guy?
The first guy was a pitcher.
Oh, I can tell you that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
That is correct.
So I'm right about that.
Yes.
And when I analyzed, hey, he needed time.
Yes.
He probably wasn't pitching that day.
The first guy
a
was a pitcher. The second guy was not a pitcher. That's correct.
Does
and I'm not speaking out of school because it was told on the radio, live on the radio.
That's why you should.
I'm just not reiterating.
That's why you should say the names.
No, I'm not gonna.
What if I Google it and it's in the ethos of the internet?
It's so unlikely. It's so unlikely.
I don't even know what to Google.
You would have to go back and have Bob Dwyer, who used to keep the show blog for us, go back and check out every 86 Met guest we ever had on. There were not a lot of them because we weren't a big interview show.
Well, I don't think you had George Foster.
And then go back and listen.
You didn't have George Foster.
I had George Foster on.
You did?
100%. That's when George Foster came out and called the Mets racist.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't remember that.
He thought the Wilpons were a racist-led organization.
Why did you have George Foster on?
Because I think, as I recall, well, he's George Foster, and I think he was openly bitter about his time here.
So you were smart.
So
like,
for me, that was like,
no, I know.
That's, manna from heaven.
I get it.
Unhappy athlete willing to talk?
I don't think it's him. I'm ruling George Foster.
You can break it down as much as you like.
I think Lee Mazzilli is a major candidate because he was a star in New York. So even though they brought him back second half of the year,
Mazzilli was a big star.
Matinee idol.
I remember Bob Costas doing a Met game. The first or second game, Mazzilli came back, hit a home run in the rain at Shea Stadium, and Costas said they love him even more now at Shea.
Yes, that's on the 86 highlight video.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
There you go.
I think it's possible. Okay. Lee was a good-looking guy, too.
Still is.
Still is. Yeah, I don't mean that as a shot. He's still very fine-looking.
Yep.
Lee, Darryl, Dykstra.
You got a couple choices.
He likes
you got a couple
to
guys to choose from, Evan. Now, the question is, do I tell you during the break?
You're going
That's
to
the question.
You're going to tell me.
Well, the picture will shock you.
Really?
Yeah. Like to thank our partner, Coke Zero Sugar, for providing product to us on Carton and Roberts. Coke Zero Sugar is the best Coke ever. Now, more delicious. Coming up, Luis Rojas in about 10 minutes here on The Fan.
Speaking of the best ever, the best Mets ever segment is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever, now more delicious. It's not a long list. It's the best pitchers to have ever pitched for both the Giants and the Mets. I put Livan Hernandez on the list. He was good for both teams. Armando Benitez, as much as he drove us nuts.
He's also the only Met pitcher that Elton John wrote a song about.
Livan Hernandez?
Livan likes his money.
Yeah, right.
He makes a lot, they say.
Yeah. The other two you don't think of as Giants or Mets. Oral Hershiser, believe it or not, and the great Warren Spahn.
There you go. Grubhub loves restaurants, from the food to the passion and determination of the people behind them. They know that a restaurant's reputation matters. Good food deserves good service, delivered fast, fresh, and exactly how restaurants intended it to be. Restaurants work hard to serve their customers, and Grubhub works hard to serve them. That's why Grubhub is introducing the Grubhub Guarantee. Grubhub guarantees your food will get to you on time within the delivery window for the lowest price compared to other apps, or you get back a minimum of $5 in perks. Order now through the Grubhub app or online and grub what you love.
Carton and Roberts on SNY is brought to you by Dunkin'. Sip until fall with a $3 medium pumpkin cream cold brew or pumpkin spice signature latte at Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Valid on pumpkin spice signature latte only and all cold foam cold brew. America runs on Dunkin'.
If there's ever a summer to get away, this is it. And the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event is here to make it happen. Secure your deal and head to your Hyundai dealer today, where new vehicles are arriving daily, and get away with summer-only savings on all models. This is your summer to get away with it all. Hey, it's your journey. Own it.
Lease an Elantra for $139 a month, or get an Elantra or Sonata for 0% APR plus 0 payments for 90 days. Hurry in.
Dan Wilbur tweeted, got an email from Untuckit. Dude, every shirt's an Untuckit shirt right now. Mr. Wilbur, I just don't know if that's true. Every man deserves to wear a perfectly fitted Untuckit that falls at just the right length. However, due to production limitations, we can't make enough Untuck It shirts for every man on Earth. Lots of men are still wearing poorly fitted traditional shirts. Keeps me up at night. Find your shirt today at untuckit.com.
I need to try it first.
You think you're ready to go?
The latest baseball chatter.
No, Luis, right now I want you to do this.
With the only opinions
He can put this team on his back.
you need.
But in the big leagues, nobody feels sorry for you.
On Baseball Night in New York, presented by Cadillac. Tonight at 6, only on SNY.
Hi, I'm Dave Choksey, the city's doctor and a father. As parents, we always want the best for our children, to give them opportunities to grow, to learn, and to keep them happy and healthy. As you prepare your children to get back to school, please get them vaccinated. If they're 12 or older, the COVID vaccine will keep them safer. If they're younger than 12, like my daughter, I'm hopeful they'll be able to get the vaccine in a few months. And it's even more important for everyone around them to be vaccinated. Regardless of their age, vaccines are also the best protection against other diseases like measles, mumps, and chickenpox. Please schedule a visit with your pediatrician or call 311 if you need a doctor.
Meet Brandon, always hustling outfielder for the Mets.
He made the catch! Oh, wow!
When the team needs some fire,
Brandon Nimmo delivers.
Brandon lights the match.
Not in time!
Because he's the catalyst of this Mets lineup.
Nimmo pulls it at second base with a well-struck double. Fourth RBI in the game for Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo with a line drive, 3-run homer. Brandon Nimmo with the icing on the cake.
Watch Brandon Nimmo's story continue with the Mets on SNY.
I can't live like the opposition. Living everything I dreamed of. Doing everything you think of. The way I work, I'm on the brink of. Doing numbers like a brake truck.
I'm on new level.
You're watching golf videos now.
Oh, in fact, I am, yeah, because I switched to Spectrum Mobile, so I get 5G nationwide, including here.
You think a golf video is going to help with what you're doing?
Oh, no, it's not just a video. I saved a bunch of money when I switched, so I hired a swing coach. Say hi to Brett.
Hey. Well, you tell Brett you just shot a 12 on the last hole.
Who's counting?
Everybody. That's the whole point of golf. Counting.
Brett did tell me that.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile and save, and get 5G nationwide included in every plan. It's a better way to mobile. It's Spectrum Mobile.
We've got a problem, America. Junk sleep. It's what you get from a bed that isn't right for you. Keep calling Kevin Keith. Junk sleep. Left your laptop on the bus. Junk sleep. Can't straight think? Slunk Jeep. What you need is real sleep. So maybe it's time to ask yourself, did you get out of the wrong side of bed this morning? Or the wrong bed altogether? Mattress Firm. Unjunk your sleep.
One year apart is one too many. Don't miss the return of the Great New York State Fair, August 20th through September 6th. Come be a part of it. Get your tickets at iloveny.com.
While all engineers earn their degrees in school, ours are also graduates of a higher institution, the racetrack. Because those that learn to do it right in the first place have a tendency to finish there. Accurate. I'll take it from here. Don't miss our newest lineup at the Acura Summer of Performance event going on now.
This summer, visit your Acura dealer today for attractive offers on the Acura TLX. Don't miss this event going on now.
In 2020, cardboard cutouts claimed their place as legitimate New York sports
What
fans.
a game for Danny Dimes in the Meadowlands. Is he
What a game. The G-Men rule New York. Very funny, Brad. Real original.
SNY, every team for every fan from every device.
Get your New York sports here.
On a bat that he actually wound up walking on.
God,
but I put it out there for everyone. It's got like 2 million plus hits. It's been retweeted and retweeted and retweeted.
Did you enjoy yourself doing that?
Arguably the worst swinging strike, maybe in baseball history, Ev.
This is.
Did you see it? Do you want me to replay it for you?
See it.
You have seen it, yeah.
You act as if I don't watch every second of Met games and then see what's then mentioned on Twitter. That became the image of last night's game. And I'm proud of you, though, because you did at least acknowledge that in that at-bat, he drew a walk.
He did walk.
Which is rare for Javi.
Yeah.
But
that's the worst swing maybe I've ever seen.
I'm not defending his swing. I'm not defending Javier Baez. I just want to make this clear. This is who he is. Like, this is
that was
Javier
like
Baez.
Stanton-esque. He decided he was swinging at whatever object came out of the pitcher's hands, wherever the object was, it did not matter.
Javier Baez, and I think Giancarlo does this sometimes too, there are some hitters in baseball who make a decision before the pitch is ever thrown.
Yes.
I'm going to swing.
Yes.
Doesn't matter where it is.
And no matter what the guy's good at throwing, I'm assuming it's a fastball.
Yes. Instead, it was a Sammy Long 84-mile-an-hour curveball, and he missed it by 1.5 miles.
Yeah, like it's brutal. Like you can't sugarcoat it. Now, again, the end of the story is that he walked in that at bat.
Right.
So he got on base.
Right.
But that swing, I think, for a lot of Met fans, kind of summed up where we are today.
Yes, no,
that's what's pissing people off.
Fair or not, that swing, again, even though it was an at-bat, that was a walk, ended up being the image of last night's game and the image of the Met failures. With that said, I want to prepare Met fans. You already know this. Javi Baez may do that again tonight.
He's going to.
And then on the next pitch, hit a 3-run bomb that goes 450 feet. That's what he does. That's who he is as a hitter. Now, do you want to marry this guy and sign him long-term? That's a debate for another day. But right now, we have to live with the fact that this is the kind of hitter that he is. This is who he is, man.
Yeah, did you see after the game, Lindor said, I'm quoting him now, "We don't have a lot of time. It's time to go. It's been time to go." He was over last night.
But you know what he also said? And this I thought was interesting. So Steve Gelbs.
I heard this. Yeah.
You heard what I'm saying?
Yeah, tell him. It's a good story.
Steve Gelbs asks the first question, I think, to Francisco. And basically says, like, why do you, I forget how he phrased it, but why do you guys stink? Like, what can you do to change the fact that you're all terrible? And Francisco turned it around on him and said, I don't know. You got any ideas? You got any ideas?
Like, that's how desperate we are. Steve, could you maybe work on my mechanics? Help me out? Get me through the zone on an even plane there?
I'll give Lindor this.
What's your... I'm sorry,
what can he say? Right. No, honestly, like,
He's
what
fine.
is his response?
What is your expectation for tonight? They're at home.
That's my expectation.
Do you have an angry crowd tonight? Do you have a crowd that's fully behind Taijuan Walker? Do you have a crowd that at the first time they go down in order or give up an early run, they turn on the Mets? And if you go into tonight's game, what's your plan as a fan?
Well,
are you ready to let the Mets hear it?
So did you hear the crowd last night? Because what was very noticeable about last night's crowd, really nice crowd, almost 30,000, which was better than I thought.
Beautiful night.
The reason there was 30,000 people there is because that place was filled with Giants fans.
That's pathetic.
There were tons of Giant fans. So when Brandon Belt is hitting 2 home runs, what do I hear, Craig? I didn't hear that many boos. I heard a lot of, yeah, because there were Giant fans there.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm afraid is going to happen with Met fans? Myself included, by the way. We start to get so beaten up by how pathetic this is that we're just going through the motions watching these games.
Like, you have the tickets, so you got to go. You're not going to waste the money.
You go and, like, yeah, sure, you want to boo Francisco Lindor, you want to boo somebody, I guess. You're going to boo Tyler McGill. You're just almost beaten up. And that's what I think the crowds may start to become, just a beaten up, I guess I could boo, but what the hell's that going to do kind of thing?
It's not going to make them any better. My booing's not going to make them hit the ball, right?
Yeah.
Tonight's the key game because the Yankees aren't here to bail you out tonight. You have no one helping you against Atlanta tonight. Like, you're not rooting for the New York Yankees tonight. A, they don't play. B, they're done with Atlanta. So the Yankees did you a solid. Like, you watched last night's Yankee game, fully immersed in, let's go Yankees. Like, you were thrilled when my main man, Aaron Boone, took Chapman and his sweaty head out of the game because he gave you a chance to hold pace with the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, but after getting
tonight, it's on you, kid.
I got to admit, after getting our ass kicked like 2 innings into this game, and I was watching Yankees Braves, not only because I'm a professional, but yes, as a Met fan, I was rooting for the Yankees. I'm watching it, and half the time I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't even really matter.
So you're back on that. It's over.
What do you mean back on that?
You're back on the Roy Orbison tip.
They stink, dude.
It's over.
They're terrible.
You're back.
After yesterday when I talked myself into the optimism, like within an hour of that, an hour and a half of that, I'm sitting down, I'm eating dinner. It was a great dinner last night. I'm excited. Like, all right, let's see it. And before you know it, Brandon Belt's hitting one off the apple.
Yeah, game over.
How do you expect me to maintain optimism after they backed it up by getting shut out by the Giants? And by the way, yes, the Yankees aren't playing the Braves anymore. The Braves don't even play for 2 more days. So this is the Mets' opportunity to pick up a full game on Atlanta.
Well,
a half game tonight and a half game tomorrow. The Braves have 2 days off in a row.
They don't play tonight or tomorrow.
Correct.
So if you beat San Francisco tonight and tomorrow, you've now gotten yourself within 5.5.
Right. But are they going to?
No. I can see them winning tonight. Who's pitching tomorrow? Stroh?
Tomorrow?
Yeah. Who's tomorrow's
Tomorrow
starter?
is Carrasco against Alex Wood.
All right, that's the game we're going to, right?
Yes.
Well, then I'd rather they lose tonight and win tomorrow, selfishly.
Why? You're not even going to stay
because
anyway.
If they go down 5-0 after 3 tomorrow night, peace out.
Correct.
Even if you have your burgers?
Well, if they have Shake Shack, I stay. Yeah,
Wait a second. I'm a little confused.
And you're hanging with us. That's fun.
Well, forget that part. I'm a little confused by something. You don't care about the game. Like, you're going to a suite.
It's not true. I want to see the Mets get back in the race so they're relevant in September.
That's different.
Because it's good for our job.
Okay, that's fine, and I do believe you feel that way. But when we're in this suite, all you're going to care about is stuffing your fat face with food and performing card tricks to impress SNY executives.
No, I'm not bringing cards. I decided.
Oh, you decided no on the card?
Maybe another kind of magic trick. Maybe you could levitate or
interlocking rings or something like that.
You want the fire rings? Yeah. You want one of those? Right. I am going to do one trick. We're going to make burgers disappear. That's what I'm going to do. I hope they have the stocked bar, too.
You know what would be really magical, Craig? Can you make, I don't know, the Mets score a couple of runs?
No,
that
that's impossible. That's like Houdini stuff.
Gotta get Copperfield here.
You need a David Copperfield to come back from the grave and go, whatever. What's the old magic thing? Abracadabra.
I don't believe the score of the Mets game tomorrow night will have any impact on your decision to leave early.
Plus, I will, for sure. Oh, you think I'm leaving early anyway?
I think you're leaving early anyway, and I don't think you'll ever watch the game.
But here's the thing. Remember this. Remember who's going to be at the game with us tomorrow.
Who's that?
It's going to be Spike's going to be there, our boss.
Okay.
Our big boss is going to be there, Chris.
Okay.
Our head of sales is going to be there, Shawnee.
Okay.
Right? You've got 5 suits from SNY coming.
Okay.
None of whom I know or ever heard their names.
Okay.
Because for some reason, the other 2 guys who I do know aren't coming to the game.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So they've kind of pawned us off on the other executives. They're all great guys and gals, so I'm sure it'll be a nice, lovely time. Right, I guess they're going to be showing us off to people, kind of thing, like it's a kindergarten show and tell. Look at my shiny new toy. Yeah, no, he's leaving early, so come in and say hi now.
The problem is you're going to leave early, and then Evan's going to sit awkwardly
you know
in the
what I
corner.
want to do? No, Evan
I'm
can
not
handle
going to sit
himself.
awkwardly in the corner. I'm going to watch the freaking game. That's what I'm there for.
Here's the other problem going to this game with you.
What's up?
It's going to be incumbent upon me to carry the show from an interactive standpoint with the executives.
Correct. Yeah, you're right.
Because you're going to watch the game.
We were invited to a game, I assume, to watch the game. Now, if there are SNY executives or FAN executives who are also going to watch the game, great, we'll have a good time. We'll talk. But if this is about let's not watch the game and schmooze nowhere near where you can view the game, that's on you, bro.
See, and Big Mac and Tommy and CeeLo, wallflowers.
Yeah.
They're not going to talk to those guys at all because they're going to feel somewhat intimidated by the suits.
Correct.
Meaning, you're watching the game, scoring
I'll talk to them while I'm watching the game, though.
I've got to now carry the entire conversation with a bunch of suits.
Here's the key. Of all the suits that are there, will one or two of the suits say, yeah, I want to watch the game, too? And if they take that route, I got them. I can break down a baseball game as it's happening with the best of them. Let's
go. But the point is, you're going to want to talk baseball during the baseball game.
Maybe my scorebook will be viewed, and they'll say, wow, so you do that in the third inning?
What happens when one of the exec goes, all right, Evan, on the spot, for real, 4 favorite Rolling Stones songs?
I would say I don't care.
You would say, like, do you know what's happening in the game? There's 2 outs and a man on second.
If one of them watches AEW tonight and they want to break down CM Punk's second appearance, then we're good to go.
That's going to be me and you, Evan.
Or presidential history. Let's go.
That's just you.
Good news for pumpkin lovers at Dunkin'. This fall, there's a whole new spin on pumpkin to love at Dunkin'. Brand new ways to enjoy the flavor of the season. Try the new pumpkin cream cold brew. Smooth, bold, cold brew topped with velvety pumpkin cream, cold foam made with cinnamon and nutmeg spices. Or maybe like Evan, you want to enjoy the delicious fall classic, the pumpkin spice signature latte.
Have I told you, I don't know if I have, Craig, have I told the audience how much I love pumpkins? How this time of year, as we start to get closer to Labor Day in the fall, all I think about is pumpkin. So the pumpkin spice signature latte, oh, yes. It's a dream for pumpkin lovers like myself. They know how to do pumpkin at Dunkin'. So sip into the fall season with a $3 medium pumpkin cream cold brew or a pumpkin spice signature latte because America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Exclusions apply. Valid on pumpkin spice signature latte only and all cold foam cold brew.
All right, we're supposed to be talking to Luis Rojas, but we're in that weird no man's land right now where he was pitching batting practice and he was supposed to join us at 5:30. And he has not yet called in yet, and we've no word from the Mets on the status of that call. So, we play these games every now and then with them, and, we have a kind of our own line of, no thank you. So hopefully we'll see if he's available. We'll do a really quick break. We'll come back. Either we'll talk to Rojas at that point or we just won't. And we'll move on and talk about other stuff. Traffic games coming up a little bit after 6 today. We've got some Nerlens Noel stuff, which is really fascinating. And are the Angels complicit in participating in a drug running ring? Crazy story. All that coming up next on The Fan. Let me tell you about Manscaped.
Carton and Roberts on SNY is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar, proud partner of the New York Mets.
Caleb Gardner tweeted, "Can someone please explain Untuck It to me? I just don't understand the positioning. Shirts designed to be worn untucked have existed for a long, long time. Mr. Gardner, respectfully, there's a difference between a shirt that can be worn untucked and a shirt designed to be worn untucked. You could use a leaf blower as a hairdryer. You can use a shoe as a pillow. But wouldn't you rather have something designed specifically for what you need it for? Find your shirt today at untuckit.com.
It's nice to know your blind spot can be protected. Blind Spot Monitor, standard on all 2021 Volkswagen SUVs, unlike all Honda or Subaru SUVs. Come into your Volkswagen dealer today and lease the sophisticated and capable 2021 Tiguan S4 for just $279 a month.
I need to try it first.
Tonight, the Mets look to gain some traction and get back in the thick of things as they square off against Chris Bryant and the Giants at Citi Field.
Base hit and the Mets win the ball game.
Coverage begins with Citi pregame tonight at 6:30, only on SNY.
It's nice to know your blind spot can be protected. Blind Spot Monitor, standard on all 2021 Volkswagen SUVs, unlike all Honda or Subaru SUVs. Visit your local Volkswagen dealer and check out our college graduate program with a bonus of $1,000 on our select new models for qualified recent college graduates.
Before I was an Avenger, I had this family. We have to go back to where it all started. We have unfinished business.
We fight with you.
Let's go.
Bring her home.
You should have brought the Avengers.
Good punch, honey.
Do you know what my people call this past year? The Long Halloween.
When you were coming up, you wouldn't have thought to hire freaks.
Everyone's invited to this party.
Batman: The Long Halloween, Part 2.
Meet Pete, known to his loved ones as the polar bear. When heaters need to be ripped, Pete rips heaters because he's the best power hitter on the planet.
Strikes again. Into the second deck, second of the night. An enormous home run by Alonso.
Watch Pete Alonso's story continue with the Mets on SNY. Meet Pete, known to his loved ones as the polar bear. When heaters need to be ripped, Pete rips heaters because he's the best power hitter on the planet.
Strikes again. Into the second deck, second of the night. An enormous home run by Alonso.
Watch Pete Alonso's story continue with the Mets on SNY. Geico Sports Night on SNY.
What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to the show.
Your nightly source for all things New York sports.
And over to the Mets now.
The Knicks looking to make it 2 in a row. Just wait until you see what actually went down.
With continuous updates on the latest New York sports news.
More reaction to the Jets.
We welcome in our Yankees insider.
Ian, thanks for joining us with the latest.
More on Dave Gettleman and the Giants.
Geico Sports Night. All night, every night, starting at 11 p.m. Only in SNY.
Get your New York sports here.
New York Mets. Luis Rojas, so I guess just finished pitching batting practice, getting ready for tonight's game against San Francisco. Luis, Craig, and Evan's back this week as well. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Great. How are you?
Did they hit your fastball during batting practice, or is it just everybody else's fastball that the guys can't hit?
Wow, right out of the gate.
They hit pretty good in BP.
Well, I'm upset.
We talked a little bit about fastball today as well.
Oh, good.
You guys
there you go. I learned a couple things, just low-hanging fruit. Did you see the video that's now got a couple million views of Baez's swing and a miss at a pitch that is, nowhere near the plate? Now, he walked down the at-bat, but that video is kind of making the rounds as, here's the poster child video of everything wrong with the Mets offense. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw the video.
What are your thoughts about it?
Well, I mean, I saw the swing live, first of all.
Right.
Here. So, yeah, he got fooled on a changeup, and that's how heavy he swings. That's one of the things that we want to probably work with him. You just be a little bit more disciplined with the pitches that he's going to swing at. But all his swings are at A-plus swings, right? He swings to kill the ball, and I think that he has zero recognition that was a changeup out of the pitcher's hand. That's why he missed it by that far.
Is that the kind of thing you talk about when you've talked to Evan and I in the past about, one of your concerns this year has been collectively the team's approach to at-bats? Is that the kind of swing that you're referencing when you talk about it?
Not necessarily. Javi has played, I don't know how many games with us, but what I think for the most part this year, without Javi here, is just in between, not being able to barrel the ball as much. We have missed like that, not way out front because we're taking an A swing. If you're gambling on a fast one, you get full. You'll take that on a pitch, but if you find that pitch, you should barrel it, and that's what we haven't seen enough this year where guys are able to barrel. That's why our slugging percentage as a team is not as high, or our OPS is not as high, just because we don't have the homers. Guys that hit homers in the past don't have them. Conforto, specifically McNeil, Nemo, guys that hit over 10 homers probably at a point like this, they just haven't done it. Right now we have Alonso, and I think Villar follows in homers on the team.
All right, so he works the walk. Great, which is rare for him, but he worked the walk. Michael Conforto's up. There's a full count. Why not send Baez? Why not play hit and run? Javi can obviously steal a base. He's a guy who stole 13 with Chicago. What was the thinking behind not sending him on that 3-2 pitch?
Yeah, Javi will have the green light here, like he did in that whole at bat. But the 3-2 with the lefty pitcher and a lefty hitter, sometimes we're just hesitant to do it if there's a possibility of a swing and miss, because the 3-2 is almost plays like a hit and run. You got to make sure that the lefty is going to the plate, so it's going to be a late break for Javi, which is potentially what could be a double play also on a strikeout, throw him out. So that's where the decision comes into play, probably not having a late break from a runner at first base and a matchup lefty-lefty.
And I get that. And look, there's a possibility Michael Conforto strikes out. I've seen it plenty of times, and Javi's thrown out. You're 100% right. But what about the aspect of maybe this sparks the team? Maybe Michael Conforto hits a ground ball to shortstop, and instead of it being a double play, Javi gets the second. Okay, runner on second. The inning continues. The thought of, we got to try something to spark the offense, so while the risk is there, there's a double play with a strike him out, throw him out, maybe something good will happen.
Yes, I totally agree. The breaking double plays like that can definitely bring the team up and can keep the sequencing. So those are things that we also do as well.
Why is Lindor not in the lineup tonight?
So first 9-inning game in 5 weeks. So per performance staff, it was ideal to have the next day off, and then look at moving forward. Maybe he's going to start playing sequence of games, but he'll be available off the bench for us tonight.
Talking to Luis Rojas, manager of the Mets. We talked about it last week. You're running out of time. There's only so many games left, and you have the belief, and I get it. You're the manager, and you believe in your guys, that this team has the personality to figure it out. And granted, you're playing the Giants for a couple more games, arguably the best team in baseball. But do you guys actively talk about, all right, listen, the Yankees did you a solid last night. They beat Atlanta. You didn't lose any ground, but you lost another game with which you could have gotten closer to Atlanta and picked up a full game. What do you think is missing from this team that might not have been missing back in May or early June when they fought back in every game? They seemed like they had a fire under them, and being down 2-0 wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah, we did a lot of things right, and I think we're still playing good defense. We're pitching well for the most part. Yesterday, the Giants got to McGill early, right, and separated the game. But the hitting is the one thing that haven't been there the whole season. But it was part of the formula before because we kept all the games close, and every day there was a different hero that came through. Whether it was Peraza, whether it was Alonso one day, whether it was Conforto with a hit by pitch. Something happened every day that helped us win, and it was a different guy. But right now we just need the offense to start going and scoring the runs that we need. This sometimes is not sustainable to have the pitching that we have for the first half of the season, especially without having Jake. So those are some of the things that we need to be better and more consistent going forward.
Why? One of the hitters that jumps out at me the most recently, and a lot of it is because he was so good the last few years, is Jeff McNeil. What the heck is wrong with Jeff McNeil?
Well, Jeff has been, I mean, he's a guy that will change quick, and he'll do different things. He's got the bat-to-ball skill, easy. It doesn't matter what he does, but he can change his stance. He can try something new from game to game. And we talked to him about sticking to one thing and sticking to the process and believing in it, and so he doesn't go on a search. So that's why he's been on and off. He hasn't been, power position. Jeff can hit for power. But
we've
only
seen it. Sure,
6 homers and. Just the way he's been doing, it's just not going to cut it for him.
You mentioned the changing of the swings, the changing of the batting stances. I know Cal Ripken used to do it. He's like the one example where it worked. But how much of a battle is that right now with Jeff? Because it seems like he wants to change it every day. And based on what you just said, you want him to just stick with one specific thing.
Yeah, well, it's him and the hitting coaches. They work on it. They deliver the message to him, and I come into play and I tell him just believe in the process, and then he finds himself. And we've seen it when he gets a couple of hits here and there, and then you see the old Jeff, and then he just has an 0-for-4 game or 2 games where he doesn't get a hit, and that's when the search starts again, and you got to come back and coach him. So that's been the game with him, and that's how we approach Jeff throughout the season.
Has Zach Scott or Sandy Alderson or even Steve Cohen reached out to talk to you or the team in the last couple of days or since you came back, for this homestand, or has there been little to no communication?
I mean, Zach flew with us to the West Coast, so he was there the whole time. So yeah, we've been talking pretty much about what's going on and what we're doing and some of the things that we're trying to do with the offense specifically.
So I guess my question for you is, I respect your work ethic a great deal. I've asked you a million times over the course of the season, hey, it's Friday night on the road. What are you doing? Have fun. And the answer is always, I'm looking at tape. I'm scouting the opponent. I'm back in the hotel room. So I respect that a great deal. Your work ethic is, beyond reproach for sure. So I wonder, just as a guy who's, staring down the back end of a terrible collapse, how frustrated are you when you give these guys a plan? You sit down with them and go over tape and go over the pitching staff of the opposing team, and you've got every I dotted, every T crossed in your preparation, and the guys aren't doing it. At some level, I imagine for you, that's got to be really frustrating.
Well, first of all, I prepare to manage the game, so the things that I look are tendencies of the other team, the stuff that they do, and we have all the data too. So anything from their stolen base tendencies to how their hitters are doing, how their pitches, tendency, things like that. So to run the game, I prepare and I do talk to the guys about what to expect and what they're going to do on the bases. But on the hitting end, once again, it's the hitting coaches that exhaust the information to the players. So they're the one presenting that to them. And they take the information and then they work with them. So I don't think there's any frustration. I mean, I'm answering your question, telling you how the process is done here.
Yeah, I wonder for you, do you go back to your office and bang your head against the wall? Like, we had 5 hits against Sammy Long, Jay Jackson, Jose Alvarez, and Tyler Chatwood, 5 hits collectively. Do you bang your head against the wall when that happens?
Yeah, I don't think, nobody wastes time here being frustrated. Right after the game, you sit down and you think of why things went this way. And you just start thinking of the things that you might be doing the next day. Today we connected and we were, okay, let's do this. Not modeling exactly for what happened yesterday. We're not seeing Sammy Long today. We're seeing Johnny Cueto. So we got to bring the guys up and we got to make it focus on facing Cueto and being there. But we can't waste any time on being frustrated of something that it just didn't work our way specifically.
On a night like last night, I know as a fan in the 3rd inning, I said this game is over. You guys played that way, too. Did you get the sense that guys gave up, especially when you're down, 5-6-0 as early as you are?
No chance. Everyone was yelling in the dugout. I know homers are, huge hit from the opposition. When they hit and you feel the dugout go quiet, but I don't think the guys were disconnected out of winning this game.
Give Met fans that still want to believe some hope that this team somewhere, some way whether it's against the Giants or if it doesn't start until they start playing, the Nationals and teams of that ilk, that there's some reason to think that suddenly you guys will snap out of this offensively and at least become competitive down the stretch and try to sneak your way back into it.
Yeah, no, that's what we feel here. And every game that we lose has been a tough loss. And you hear the quiet. You get stuck in that quiet moment here, probably in the clubhouse. You see the guys, some of them being frustrated on some of their performances and how their season's going. But the process of preparing for the next day then starts going when the guys shower and then they meet in the kitchen and they start heading out. Now they're focusing on the next day. So the believing part, the trust part, and what we can do, it's real. And the guys are here to win tonight, and that's how we show up every day. So it's not that we're hanging our heads because of yesterday right now. And so we want everyone to believe with us that we can do this, and that we're working hard to find a way into improving our offense, which is the area that right now, or that we'd like the most probably this season. So that's the one thing that we need to come and be consistent for the remainder of it.
Let me tell people that SNY is going to leave us in a minute. They've got baseball night in New York coming up, and that's all courtesy of Grubhub. Real quick, and then Evan, John, whatever he's got, of course, for you. DeGrom cleared by docs to have a catch or throw or something. MRI was clean again. Are you of the belief that if you guys are out of it, there's no reason to see him again this year? Or are you one of the guys that believes whether you're out of it or not, we got to see DeGrom pitch again this year?
Yeah, right now we're excited that he's throwing. And, I mean, we're not thinking that we're out of this. So the progression is going to go as if he's going to meet us at the right moment. Let's just say that. We don't know when that's going to be for this season. We don't have a timeline yet in our hand. We don't have any schedule or anything in our hand. They just gave him the green light to play catch today. But any decision of what you're asking, we haven't even talked about it. We're just glad that he's able to throw.
But the math would lead us to believe,
Young Mozzarella tweeted, I purchased one of those untuck it dress shirts and then tucked it in, if anyone out there is looking for a bad boy. Mr. Mozzarella, this tweet made me realize what I've been missing all along. Bad boys. I would like you to be our first tucked-in model. The models on untuckit.com wear their shirts untucked like they were designed to. We want to market to tucked-in bad boys. Please DM us so we can arrange a photo shoot. Find your shirt today at untuckit.com.
I need to try it first.
Stay with me now. 3 more all the way through. Hey! Focus on swinging the rear hand as you kick. I want to hear it. Change levels. Hit them in the body with the kicks now or the leg. Show me your heart now. We got to win this fight. Well done, guys. That was beautiful. Hands up. Show the judges you're victorious.
All things New York sports, all on one site, only on SNY.TV.
Hello and welcome to Geico Sports Night.
Every night starting at 11 p.m., only at SNY.